All right, so hello everyone. I'm speaking on behalf of Team 3. Our team did the Me Too movement for our media presentation. We will now be beginning. So to introduce it, a movement created by Tarana Burke for victims of sexual harassment and assault. The Me Too movement is an international social movement against sexual harassment and assault. Many women have made stories public as victims, and this has worked to raise awareness and hold the victimizer accountable.
This is Tarana Burke, an American activist who started the Me Too movement, the movement against sexual violence and sexual assault.
Hi, my name is Tarana Burke, and I'm the founder of the Me Too movement. We founded Me Too over a decade ago to support young women of color in the community we live who were survivors of sexual violence. In the years since we started, we've expanded to support adults and people across the gender spectrum who have been holding the trauma of sexual violence for many, many years. Now, since the expansion or explosion of Me Too in 2017, we have a unique opportunity to expand our platform and continue a national conversation around sexual violence in this country and countries around the world.
Tarana Burke created the Me Too campaign in 2006 as part of her work to provide resources for victims and sexual harassment and assault. In 2017, followers began to share their stories of sexual harassment and assault following a hashtag campaign led by Alyssa Milano on Twitter.
The Me Too movement focuses on the stories shared on the media from sexual violence survivors. The goal of the Me Too movement is to encourage continuous exposure of stories about sexual harassment, hopefully leading to a lasting change. However, the main obstacle is to help make stories aware of people who are doubly marginalized so that everyone is heard rather than a selected few.
Relationship to the media United States. Over 12 million posts and reactions featured hashtag MeToo within 24 hours, following a hashtag campaign led by Alyssa Milano on Twitter. These posts feature stories of sexual harassment and assault. Media outlets have reported hashtag MeToo movement has been featured in more than 1.7 million tweets across 85 countries by the October 24th, 2017. Stories by survivors were not just shared on Twitter, they were also shared on many other media platforms.
These were some of the replies to Alyssa Milano made by sexual assault survivors. The Me Too movement showed us we have a voice and it's time to speak up. To this day, it still makes me angry. The system is set up so that women don't want to come forward.
The origins of the Mexican Me Too campaign began with a tweet on March 21st of 2019 by political commentator Ana G. Gonzalez, alleging abusive and violent behavior against many women by a powerful literary figure. That Me Too movement gave a platform for female journalists, writers, and filmmakers in the media industries to share their stories of sexual harassment and abuse, physical attacks, and psychological bullying from men in the media industries.
So the relationships to crime in Mexico and the United States, there's four main points: sexual abuse, sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and sexual assault. The hashtag MeToo movement makes a difference in sex crime reporting. A crime report is a written account for an incident observed from one or more sources.
In many ways, the Me Too movement has been incredibly significant because it has provided a voice to survivors who were afraid to speak up.
Cases related to the Me Too movement in Mexico, the entertainment industry in Mexico began receiving reports of sexual harassment, inappropriate behavior, and rape from women. On March 8th in Mexico City, participants commemorate International Women's Day.
All across the US, celebrities have been joining the movement and reporting their misconduct to the media and hopping on this hashtag MeToo movement. In Hollywood especially, specific cases like ones of Harvey Weinstein, Roy Price, and Charlie Rose are all famous celebrities that have been called out in the hashtag MeToo movement. The outcomes of this movement was to show Americans as well as people all around the world, including Mexico, how widespread sexual harassment, assault, and other misconduct really are. As more and more survivors spoke out, people soon realized that they were not alone. The outcome of this movement is more about the healing process for survivors, supporting survivors as leaders, and centering them as organizers in community healing. This is about ending sexual violence for everyone, everywhere. These are our sources cited.
On behalf of Team 3, we thank you for listening to our media presentation.